Hey guys, so today I'm going to go over Elite Trader Funding, which is a prop firm that allows you to trade their money. Essentially, if you don't know what a prop firm is, it basically is a company that will allow you to take an evaluation or a challenge, and if you can pass that challenge, aka proving that you can trade their money, and you keep a profit share of that. So a lot of people use these prop firms because they are much cheaper than funding your own personal account, and it's kind of taking some of the risk off the table, because if you take a $100 evaluation, you pass, and then you trade it and you follow all the rules, and you request your first payout, whether that be a couple $1,000s, whatever, you've now made a couple $1,000s off of a smaller initial investment than you would have if you're trying to trade futures or Forex, whatever you trade, on your own, and putting up front, $10,000 or $15,000. And the reason I chose Elite Trader Funding is simple, because they have a lot of different platforms that they can work with. Most futures trading prop firms only use NinjaTrader. I do not like trading on NinjaTrader because it's clunky, it's old, the charting sucks. So I have my personal account with Tradeovate, but I trade it through TradingView. So I naturally went with Elite Trader Funding for my funded account so I could trade it through TradingView. And that has gone well so far. So that was the first thing that popped out to me. Okay, I can trade it on TradingView, cool. In the past, the only other prop firms that would allow you to trade via TradingView were Top Step, which has crazy rules to pass. You have to pass in multiple steps, and it's just a pain. So Elite Trader Funding was much easier, and it allowed me to use TradingView, so it was a no-brainer that I went with them. So today I just want to go over some of the reasons that I chose to go with Elite Trader Funding. You can obviously see here that you keep 100% of your first $12,500 in profits. That means that the first $12,500 that you make in your funded account, after you earn your payouts and your withdrawals, you get to keep that with no profit split. So meaning Elite Trader Funding doesn't get any of that, which is pretty cool. Most companies only do the first 10,000, or some are the first 5,000. It depends on the company that you go with. And then after that, it's an 80-20 split. So 80% of all your winnings will go to you, and 20% the prop firm keeps. Now, it is cool that you can trade multiple of these accounts, so you could buy multiple funded accounts and trade them all at the same time if you wanted to. So you can trade up to 20 under one login, which is pretty cool. A lot of people do this. They stack accounts. I personally don't like doing that because I don't want to blow up 20 accounts at one time or pay for 20 accounts. I'm cool with one funded account and my personal live account with Tradeovate, so that works for me. But you can do whatever works for you, whatever you like to do, however your trading style fits. It's very flexible for what you can do with these prop firms. You can trade during news. A lot of platforms will not allow you to trade during news, so this is really cool. Granted, you probably shouldn't be trading news if you don't know what you're doing, but in the event you can see a setup form and you know news is going to take it there and you want to get in when it gets there, you can do that. No daily drawdown, which is amazing. Some of these prop firms, let's say you have a $50,000 prop firm account, funded account, I will call them from now on. Let's say you have a $50,000 funded account. At the end of the day, if you made $1,000, you're now at $51,000. If your drawdown was at $49,000, now it's at $50,000. So it moves up as you move up. So your drawdown is always with you. It's kind of a trick. A lot of people fail these accounts. A lot of people blow them up. It's definitely a trick to do that. Let's say if your max contracts is 5 contracts on the ES, you cannot trade 6. That will cause you to fail. So there's a lot of different rules and fine print that you have to read, because you don't want to make these mistakes and fail your account and lose it. And then you have to start over, take the evaluation again, pay them again. And it can become a rabbit hole if you're not really ready for it. So take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. You have to be ready to trade using risk management. You have to be ready to trade accurately. You can't spiral. You have to be ready. Trust me, I failed plenty of these before I passed this one. So save yourself some money and practice before you take one of these. And as you can see here, reset fee is only $75, meaning if you're taking an evaluation that might have cost you $300 and you fail, let's say you trade too many contracts, or you go over your drawdown, or you just lose all your money, you can pay $75 and reset that account and start over. which is much cheaper than paying the $300 again. So this is where a lot of people get caught up because they keep resetting, they keep resetting, they keep failing, they keep resetting, and eventually you look up and you spent $1,000. And personally, I don't think anyone should be doing that. So that's why it can become a rabbit hole. And then you have automatic free account resets on subscription renewal if the account is locked. So at the end of each month, let's say you have 30 days to pass the evaluation. Let's also say that 30 days has passed and you haven't passed, but you have failed. You can get a free reset on that 30-day, but your subscription will renew. So whatever price you paid originally, you're going to pay that again. So if your evaluation was $200 and 30 days passes and you haven't passed, but you might have went over your drawdown yesterday, you get a free reset, but you're going to pay $200 again. So it isn't really that much of a caveat because you're not paying $75, you're paying your original subscription again. So it sounds good, but in general, in reality, you don't want to have to reset. So you want to trade accordingly. And then another reason that I really like Elite Trader Funding is all of the different evaluation types that they have. There are so many evaluation types to choose from. So whatever type of trader you are, they have something for you. So they have one-step evaluations. And obviously it says this evaluation tends to appeal to traders that like to trade fast and too often. So they have a $10,000 and their max drawdown is $1,000. So if you have a $10,000 evaluation account and your profit target is $12.50. So you can trade up to one ES mini contract or NQ or YM, whatever, one mini, or 10 micros, or one small. This is where Elite Trader Funding also beats out on Top Step, because with Top Step, you could trade one mini, but then they would only allow you to trade one micro. They wouldn't give you the full 10 micros, which made absolutely no sense. So it was harder to grow your account. In any of these smaller accounts, in reality, you should be trading the micros because you can scale in and out of your positions easier than trying to trade one mini. Trading one mini, if you lose 20 points, you fail. That's your max drawdown, $1,000. So there's no point in trading one mini. You need to trade micros. Trade 3 or 4 micros. You can make $12.50 in a day, literally. But you can make it easily. For all of these, you have to trade at least 5 days to even pass. So even if you do make this $12.50 in one day, you still have to trade 5 more days. And I think I passed in 3 or 4 days, and then the other days I just opened and closed the position so that way I could get to my funded account next. They also have the 25K. So as you can see, as the account gets bigger, the drawdown gets a little bit bigger, but the target does as well. So you can do any of these. With this one-step evaluation, there's a no scaling rule, meaning that as you continue to grow, you're still only going to be able to trade one mini, 10 micros, or one small contract. I don't know what one small contract is. That might be for Forex. I have no idea. I don't know what that means. Anyways, you do get a free NinjaTrader license key if you're going to use NinjaTrader. They will give you a free TradingView login if you're going to use TradingView. I'm not sure about Rhythmic, but I'm assuming you'll get a Rhythmic login as well if that's what you choose to go with. Free real-time data. And then once you pass, it is $80 per month. This is for every single account, $80 per month. And you only get a free month if you're on a huge account like 100K or 250K. They'll give you 1 month free or 2 months free. But after that, it is $80 per month. So this is where they're making their money. Also, they're making their money when people fail. So yeah, this is the one-step evaluations. And the difference between these are the drawdowns. So the intraday unrealized profit trailing drawdown. I hate this. A lot of other combines or prop firms use this. I cannot stand it because I don't want to be in a position and be negatively impacted if I don't take profit. So this means that if you are in a position and let's say you're up $500 and it comes back and stops you out at break even, your drawdown still goes up $500 even though you didn't take profit. So if your account is at 50,000 and your drawdown is at 49,000 and you go up $500 in a position and then it comes back and you close it at break even, your drawdown goes up to 49,500 and your account is still at 50,000. So now your drawdown is even tighter because you didn't take profit. I don't like this. My trading style, I like to leave runners. I like to let price run. And you can't do that because if it comes back and stops you out at break even, you're still getting penalized for that. So one-step evaluations, a no-go for me. Same with the fast track evaluations. Intraday unrealized profit trailing drawdown. Absolutely not. I don't want to do this. The difference between the fast track and the one step is you only have 14 days to pass. So they're a little bit cheaper, but you only have 2 weeks to get it done. That's it. You can trade more as well. They're going to allow you to trade 14 minis with the 100K account. This is a trap. Most people will see this and be like, oh, I only need to make $6,000. I'm going to trade 5 minis and be done. But your max drawdown is only 3,000. And you're trying to do it in 14 days. It causes people to rush. I don't like these. And now granted, if you have one big good move and you put on the risk, you can pass and it's cheaper. But I think these are like scratch offs. These are lottery ticket evaluations in my opinion. And you still have that intraday unrealized profit drawdown, which is terrible. I can't stand it. No scaling and no resets allowed. So you literally only have your 14 days. This is where they also make a lot of their money. And then they have the end of day drawdown evaluations. These are much nicer, much easier. There is no intraday unrealized profit drawdown. There is an end of day trailing drawdown and a daily loss limit, but that's at the end of the day. So if I have a $50,000 account and I make $1,000 and my drawdown was at 49,000, now my account is at 51,000 and my drawdown is at 50,000. But let's say I go up $1,000 and don't close out, my drawdown stays at 49,000 as long as I don't, make any money that day. So it's the end of the day, whatever you end with, not intraday unrealized. So it's a much easier to pass. And there's a daily loss limit, but you can see they're much more expensive. So the 25K here is $150 compared to the 25K here, which is $45. So the price point is important, whatever you can afford, but these are a trap. These are lottery tickets. If you just want to take a combine and see if you can pass it on news, go for it. But you know what you're dealing with here. These end of day drawdown evaluations also have no scaling, but you can reset. So you have 30 days. And most people think you only have 30 days. No. If you go 30 days and you haven't passed and you haven't failed, you just pay this fee again and you can continue to trade until you pass, which is kind of cool. So most people fail these because they're rushing. I personally think take as long as you need. If it costs you $300 and you end up passing and you end up making $3,000 and you get your first payout, who cares? You're making money. But don't rush. Don't try to put on more risk than you need to pass because it's not going to work. Still also requires a minimum of 5 trading days, and funded accounts also have an end of day drawdown. So once you do pass, you still have that end of day drawdown. And obviously free Ninja Trader license key, free elite account, all of that. Same things applied for the other 2 evaluations. So these end of day drawdown evaluations also have a daily loss limit. So, and essentially you have a max drawdown, which would be $1,500 for a 25K account, your profit target, and your daily loss limit. So you cannot go over this amount in a losing trade in one day. So you can lose $500, but you can't lose $550 or more. And be very careful here, because I have failed an evaluation account thinking that I would be okay with my daily loss limit, but the commissions put me over the top and I failed. So be careful calculating in your commissions as well. And you can see that the bigger accounts there are more expensive because it's a little bit easier. 150K is $340 versus a 100K up here is $50, and a $250,000 account is $150. But it's the fast track. It's the lottery. And then there is my favorite in the evaluation that I have, which is the static drawdown. This account is the account that I chose to go with because I think the drawdown rules are very easy. There is no trailing drawdown. There is no end of day drawdown. You just have a static drawdown, and that's $625. So you start out with a $100,000 account. You can't lose more than $625,000, and you have to make $2,000. Now, this can be intimidating for people who like to put on a lot of risk. I personally do not. I like trading with minimal risk, and I like letting runners run and going. So there's no unrealized intraday profit trailing drawdown, and there's no end of day drawdown. So my drawdown is always going to be $625. So 100,000 minus 625. If I go below that number, that's when I fail. But if I run the account up to 102,000, I have to lose 2,625. That's why it's really cool here. So I passed this evaluation in 4 days, or 3 or 4 days. I think it was 4. And I was able to withdraw the next month and a half or so. I didn't realize that I needed to trade 20 days to withdraw. So I've been trading it every day so I could get my first payout, and I got that yesterday. So I will go over that in the next video, the payout details, all of the things I had to go through to get my payout. But this evaluation is a cheat code, especially if you know how to manage risk. So these evaluations have a max loss and no trailing drawdown, like I said earlier. The minimum allowed balance never moves from its starting point. So if you turn this 100,000 into 105,000, you have to lose $5,625 to fail. Which, if you've turned it into $5,000 of profit, I doubt you're going to lose $5,625 unless you tilt out of control or spiral or are risking way too much. But your max positions are 2 minis or 20 micros. I also really love this. So 20 micros, it's the same as 2 minis, but you can take less risk. You can shave profits at low-hanging fruit. You can take off partials. You can do all of that and take off risk while in your positions without being penalized for your profit going up, which is amazing. So this is the account I chose to go with. I really, really like this account, this evaluation style. It was really easy for my trading style. It worked for me. And yeah, so there are a lot of different options. Whatever you think is going to work for you, you should go with that. So you have one step like we went over: end of day drawdown, fast track, and static. Static is that's the one for me. A lot of people like the end of day drawdowns. I personally don't want to pay this much, $240 for a $75,000 account. I just don't. And they kind of bait you into fail. 10 minis is a lot. That's a lot of risk for a $27.50 drawdown and a $1,700 daily loss limit. I don't know. I like the static. It works for me. It's cool. And when you get your payout, it's much easier for a static account because, little do you know, once you pass any of these other accounts, you have to do it again. You have to get over your drawdown before they even allow you to withdraw. So if you have to make $2,000 and you want to withdraw $1,000, you have to make $3,000 to withdraw your $1,000 because you have to get over your profit threshold. With a static, since your drawdown doesn't move, whatever you make over $100 over 100,000, so 100,000, $100 over that, you can withdraw right away because your drawdown doesn't move. All right, hopefully this was helpful. I will go over payout details, my process that I used to get my money. I'm actually waiting for it, but it is pending, and I did all of that yesterday. So I will go over that in the next video. There is a frequently asked questions page. You can email them. They usually respond within, a couple hours, same day. I've had them respond in 5 minutes if I had an issue. I really, really like this prop firm. Please only use this if you're really ready to trade, though. Do not go here just spending money and blowing accounts just because you can. Please don't. If you'd like to sign up with them, I will put my referral link in the description below. Please do not use this if you're not ready. Please. I do not need the referral points. So, any questions, please let me know. Hopefully I did a good job explaining this. Thank you guys for tuning in. Part 2 will come out shortly, and that will go over payout, how much you can withdraw, when, and the process to do so. Thanks for tuning in, guys.